Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Welcome to the Dental Efficiency Playbook. Here we go.
Hey, party people. Welcome to the Dental Efficiency Playbook. My name is Gabe Hofmann, also known as the Dental Efficiency Guy, and I am looking forward to talking to my friend Ian Miller today, dental mutuality. And Ian, I know that you have a very unique, first off, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, Gabe. This is great to be here with you.
I mean, it's always great speaking with you. And can you tell our listeners about your road, your unique road into dentistry, as well as the a little bit about the multiple hats in which you wear?
Absolutely. As you know, I've got a very unusual road to dentistry, and which makes me a little bit of a unicorn in the industry. And I know that word is overused, but as we delve into today, you'll see what I mean. So I got into dentistry about 12 years ago. Prior to that, I had an apparel company, a very large apparel company, and I would say that, I could go out on a limb and say that there's a better than even chance that most of your male listeners and viewers or female who had a male that they had partnered with, and they have shirts in their closet, or at least 12 years ago, that there was a better than even chance that they had at least one of my shirts in their closet, because we were that big. And back in 08, 09, after the recession hit, I knew that the industry had just really gone sour, and I wanted to get out. And unfortunately, it took me a good 5 years to do that, and several $100,000, which I had to sink back into the company. And back in 2012, I found myself in a very novel toothpaste company. It was a plaque identifying toothpaste company. And over the next 5-6 years, I scaled that company along with the founder from 1,000 offices when I joined to 50,000 offices worldwide. Wow. We had distributors in 20 countries, and we were rocking and rolling. And then we got an offer from a large American distributor to buy the brand, which we just could not refuse.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
amazing
you.
Growth and an exit that everybody wants, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So, I was fortunate to have a year of transition, and then just decided that, if I could do that for one company, why not do it for several? So I became a chief revenue officer for 5-6 companies, and that's where it all started. Somewhere along the way, I also found myself getting into the Guinness Book of World Records, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And also did a stint, this goes way before I got into dentistry, but did a stint of stand-up comedy with the likes of Howie Mandel and Jim Carrey, and both of them are Canadian, as am I, and we grew through the Yuck Yucks area.
Hey.
And, well, if you take a look at where they are, doing what they're doing and doing what I'm doing, you could see how funny I was. So not really compared to theirs.
I love it. I didn't know that about you, Ian. So
not only you, but everybody knows that now.
yes. So what is Guinness Book of World Records?
Yeah. So back in 2005, we did an event for charity. We raised I think it was about $250,000 for kids charities, and we did the softball game, which we did for 96 hours, 4 days straight.
96 hours.
Yeah, it was crazy. We were, we had 20 people per team, so we got to, trade in and out, but we couldn't leave the field. We had to stay at the diamond the whole time. And, I was able to doze off for, 15 minutes here and 45 minutes there, but 4 days straight playing ball.
4 days straight. Wow.
And by the way, my team won 650 to 590, something like that.
Wow. So another congrats.
Thank you.
Your Guinness Book of World Records for the longest
softball game.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Craziness. I have learned a couple new things about you today. So, but obviously, in dental practices and groups, for that matter, to DSOs, we know it's well known in the industry the level of inefficiencies that come from data as well as from the challenge with people and or leadership and accountability, right? Typically, it falls in pick one of those buckets and they will lead to challenges in either scaling and or profit. And so with that said, obviously I know you work with, as you said, 5 or 6 different companies. I know you also have a couple platforms or services that you have recently. So just stay on this meeting and you will get to hear about 2 amazing products / services that Ian has recently brought to market that can literally change the game for single practices or groups. But that's to come later in the episode. So let's go back. Yeah. Let's go back to, so one of the brands that I'm aware of is Pronto by Mava, which is KPIs that you are the CRO of. I know you have some others that I have seen, but talk a little bit about your role. First, where is an organization at the point that they decide to bring you in? And then how does that translate to the state of dentistry today, Ian?
That's a great question. So the founder of Pronto, Vinny Cardillo, is a good friend of mine. He's part of Backstage, and as am I, and we just met.
Plug, Backstage Mastermind.
There you go, plug.
As am I.
And we hit it off very, very quickly and realized that where Pronto needed help the most is what I could help them with the most. And so I came in as their Chief Revenue Officer. And Pronto is just an amazing platform. You know, we talked about unicorns before, and it's one of the things I look for in companies is they have to be a unicorn, either a one-off where there's nothing like it in the market, or the best. Because I do not believe in ever, and this includes dental practice, I do never believe in fighting on price alone for anything. It's just a race to the bottom. Nobody ever wins. You have to be value-driven. You have to be efficient, and then you can get top price for whatever you're doing.
Well, and as we know, price comes and goes. Cost is multifaceted. The cost of not making a decision, the cost of the wrong decision, the cost of staying the same, cost of inefficiency, goes on and on, right? And so I 100% agree that if and I speak on this often, Ian, so I'm glad you mentioned it. But, and again, price, it's a one-time thing. You pay it, you agree to it. It shouldn't be the emphasis or the focus for any decision that you make in a practice group or in a business, because you should be looking strategically at how is this going to change, improve, eliminate, or reduce risk. But how is it going to benefit my organization, and what are the facets in which it will do so? That is the investment. That the alternative to that investment is the cost of the pain or the indecision of not doing it. And so there's actually a big difference between price and cost. And so I look at price and investment. And I challenge everybody when they're looking at decisions in their practice to think that same way, to put that hat on.
Well, yeah, and I know we're going off on a little tangent here, and before I get into Pronto, I just want to address what you said, and I agree 100% that too many dental offices focus on the cost of something. And what they should
price or the cost?
The cost.
Okay.
Right? Price, cost, kind of synonymous. But I'll challenge you.
Well, again, I just said different. Price is what you pay.
Right.
What I'm referring to cost is the ongoing expense of either not making a decision, making the wrong decision, or
Yes,
what
so I agree, but I'll bring the other
people,
parameter that you
systems,
said, which is
etc.
investment.
That is the cost.
Right?
Yep.
Because the investment is the most important, in my opinion, the most important word. Because when you trigger a word of price, when you trigger the word cost, right, that's money going out. Whether it's the price of something, whether it's the cost of something, that's money going out of the practice.
Yep.
When you talk about investment, right, nobody invests in Apple or in IBM or in Facebook thinking that they're going to have money going out. They think that it's staying in their wallet as a share, and it's going to create a profit, a return on the investment.
Return on investment.
Right?
Correct.
So if you keep talking about investment and keep focusing on an investment in the practice, an investment for the practice,
Yes.
then that psychological, that subconscious trigger is saying, I'm going to get, or I hope to get, a return on that investment, as opposed to a cost which is going to a movie, right? You're going to spend, you may get something out of it, but that money is never coming back. So I always like to think in terms of investment whenever we're talking about that. And I understand your difference between price and cost, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and again, I did not mean to interrupt. You can please go back to Pronto and what you look for in companies. But I think it's been a while, and I think that's an important distinction when you are looking at how to evaluate making a decision in your practice.
I agree, and I'm glad we went down that road, because if we don't talk about another product for the rest of the podcast, I'm good with that, because if we can get a couple of pearls that the dental community can realize, I think that is the benefit of the podcast.
I agree. That's a good one, isn't it? Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Back to the companies, and so where you fill a need, are you always the CRO of the organization?
Pretty much. The CEO or CRO.
Okay.
So with Pronto, what this is a very, very unique platform. What we do is we basically take your entire tech stack, and let's face it, tech stacks are growing in leaps and bounds today because of AI and all the rapid technology changes. But we'll take the entire tech stack of an office, wherever we can gain access through the APIs. We will then combine them all, we'll aggregate it all, okay? We will analyze everything. We will benchmark. Right now it's about 75%, which we have benchmarked. So we do over 200 analytics and metrics. We benchmark about 150 of them. Okay. And so what that does is, because having numbers, and a lot of people will compare us to a PMS aggregator. And with all due respect to all those companies, they're great. They have beautiful graphs. They have all kinds of data and metrics, but nobody looks at them. And when they do look at them, they don't understand them. So it's important to know if it's spitting out that your hygiene production is at 28%, what does that mean? Does it mean that you're doing well, or does it mean you're not doing well? How do they know, right? So what we do is we benchmark everything. We will tell you that a practice such as yours should be doing 30% to 32% of hygiene. Okay. We will tell you that your hygiene perio should be 40%. We'll tell you that your missed calls should only be 5 to 6%. So we will look at every part of your tech stack and give you benchmarks on exactly where you stand compared to industry standards and against your goals.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that was my question, against industry standards, so national standards.
Exactly.
Pulling the data out of the PMS, not necessarily, and you're saying in other practice management softwares as well, but that is obviously determining the operational inefficiency or operational opportunity.
It shows you exactly what opportunities you're missing. So in doing so we now have benchmarked it. We'll sit down with the client once a quarter, go over the numbers to make sure that they understand what those opportunities are, and then flag them in the system so that they will see immediately if any of the numbers that we've said, okay, over the next quarter, it's important for you to take a look at these 6, 7, 8, 10 metrics, right? And if all of a sudden some of those numbers that were red and all of a sudden become yellow, you know you're improving. If they come green, great, let's focus on a different number. But if the yellows become reds, you know that's a problem. And so what we do is we identify those problems immediately. Think of your car. Everybody that drives in a car. And you have a dashboard, and all of a sudden a yellow light comes on, and you immediately focus on that, and it's your tire pressure. Which, by the way, whoever designed that tire pressure light is insane. They must have been smoking something, because there's no way that that looks like a tire, right? So the tire pressure light comes on and it's yellow. See, what do? You click on it, you take a look, and you see, oh, my front right tire is at 37 psi.
Right.
You don't even know what 37 psi means, but you know it's not great, but you know you don't need to do anything about it right now. And then 3-4 miles down the road, all of a sudden it turns red. Right? Now you look and it's like 20 psi. You know that the pressure is going down, and you look for your closest service station to go into.
Yep.
Right? That's what Pronto does. We'll show you a yellow light as soon as your number starts to go off. You'll immediately know that something is wrong. So you click on that. Now, let's say it's missed calls, right? So we work closely with Mango and other phone systems, by the way.
An average of 20 to 50% of the calls in a practice. I think 35, 37% was what I heard just 2 weeks ago.
That's a crazy high number, right? And it shouldn't be that way.
Correct.
So what our software will do is we'll show you, if it's at 35%, it's going to be red. It's going to be a red flag, and you're going to be able to go in and see that you're missing all kinds of calls. And yes, we want you to then go to Mango's dashboard so that you can see exactly when you're missing those calls. Because again, we're looking at the high level information. We're not drilling down into the weeds. So if it's for me, just tell them I'm not available. So we want to work with all these companies. We're not instead of a Mango dashboard, instead of any PMS dashboard. We want to integrate with everybody and work in a synergistic way so that you can get the data you need, but we're going to alert you, just like that car dashboard, where you've got to look deeper, right? And we're looking at everything. We're looking at the marketing, your ROAS, how much you're spending on ads. We're looking at the PMS, the calls, which calls lead to appointments, which appointments lead to case acceptance, which case acceptance leads to case acceptance completion. We'll look at the payroll. We'll look at the reviews. We'll look at and your P&L. I mean, imagine having a real-time P&L every day, right? Your accountant could be looking at it, your CPA look at it, your bank could look at it. Ooh, bank's looking at it. But that's a good thing, right? Because again,
I was going to say, I don't know.
The minute you're offside, you don't want to wait until it's too late. So all this stuff makes you have a much more efficient and well-run office.
And I especially love, you mentioned the treatment acceptance. Treatment acceptance is the single biggest driver of sustained growth. There's obviously multiple things that go into it, multiple touch points and behaviors that lead to treatment acceptance. But tracking treatment acceptance accurately as a metric is day to day, week to week, month to month. If you can move that number, move your missed appointments, your no-shows, like reduce those so that percent of schedule goes up, right? Doing 100 or 110% of schedule. It means we're converting people same day. But treatment acceptance, for every 5% you improve, you can directly relate it to your average dollars per hour, average annual patient value. And so that number, being able to track that alone consistently and educate a team on it is an immensely powerful KPI for your team to understand, because they can directly see that if I spend more time with this patient, or I do this handoff better, or I take this patient on a tour through the practice at the start and I'm not on the phone, or I the doctor spends a little more time with the patient and explaining, or pulls up these resources, those little tweaks, and I have 5% more, I have 10% more. What did we do? That single KPI ties in so many others in the practice and so many behaviors that we do, to where me as a consultant, and I absolutely love that in Pronto, because there are other dashboards, there are other KPI companies that, if they do track it, they don't track it as thoroughly, and it's not as accurate. And accuracy is key with any metric.
So important.
Again, if you're benchmarking, but I also want to go back to something you said. You said quarterly reviews. What is the support like with Pronto? Because I know a number of organizations that are out there that have grown very quickly struggle today to provide support. I hear it all the time with offices that I work with, that they no longer can reach someone or get support for their KPIs, as well as some of the other integrations inside of their KPI dashboard.
Yeah, so what we do, again, very, very differently from anybody else out there, is we have quarterly meetings set up, and we're going to look at the high level. We're going to look at the opportunities, where your numbers are off. And so if we see something where we find that you need a consultant to come in, we're going to work closely with them, and we're going to recommend a consultant to work with. Now, we work with a lot of consultants who actually, they're the ones who put Pronto into the practice so that they can monitor these things remotely for all of their practices on a daily, weekly basis, right?
Of course.
But when we see, if we notice that your hygiene is off, we're going to say, okay, well, your hygiene dropped by 3% last quarter. Do you know what to do about it? Some of them are going to say yes, some of them are going to say no. And we're not going to tell them exactly what to do with hygiene. We're going to recommend 2 or 3 hygiene consultants that they can call, and they can talk to them about their issue. If it's a front office issue, we'll talk about front office consultants. If it's an overall clinical issue, we're going to have clinical consultants. So what we do is we work closely with all of the different consultants, the finance, the legal, the operational, whatever it is, and we will make sure that whatever turns yellow will not turn red. And that is so important for practices, and even more important for the consultants, because let's face it, you're being paid to consult. And if you can help them through an issue that they're having, you're going to be a consultant of theirs for a very long time.
If I've said it a million times, I haven't said it enough. If you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it effectively.
I agree.
And so I still scratch my head today in disbelief of the number of practices and groups that don't have accurate data in their KPIs.
No, don't get me started.
Oh, brother, you and me both. In my business, I'm always looking to understand my processes and have a way to measure them. I can't say that I'm as good in my own businesses as I am in the businesses that I work with, but every practice that I work with, I recommend moving into KPIs so that they can navigate their KBIs, or key behaviors, that drive those KPIs. It's instrumental, it's vital, not to mention teaching the team how they impact those key performance indicators, right? Which ones they're accountable to, how they impact them, is growth of the team members, is growth of the practice. It's 100% alignment.
And I'm so glad you talked about team, because, you know, one of the reasons that we created Dental Mutuality in the first place is I realized very quickly that dentistry is disconnected. That with all of the stakeholders, and you know, mutuality is a shared feeling or concern over a subject, really, that's what all it is. So Dental Mutuality was created from the seed of, we saw when we were in the, toothpaste, that we had a challenge with hygienists and dentists having different goals. It's like, why? You both have the same goal, you're just coming at it in a completely different way. And then we saw vendors, and a lot of this happened during COVID, but vendors it was impossible to get a hold of dentists.
Yes.
And even at the trade shows, the dentists would be walking down the aisles with their hands in their phone like this, and like, God forbid somebody says hello to them, it would be like, how dare you say hello to me? I'm walking by your booth. What are you doing?
Bother me.
You know? And I didn't understand it. So in thinking about all the stakeholders, the vendors, the dentists, the DSO owners, the hygienists, the RDAs, the patients, that everybody has the same goal: improve your efficiency, give the best possible care to the patient, and make money doing it. There's nothing wrong with making money. So, but when you have everybody in silos, and you hear that word all over the place today, especially in dentistry, right? Yeah. Siloed software, siloed this. So, but all these people, all these stakeholders are in silos, all with their own agendas. Patient, oh, give me the cheapest, quickest, I don't care what it is. The dentist is making the most money with the least amount of effort. The vendor is sending 10,000 emails, having 42-page decks, and just being ridiculous about it. Nobody realizes that unless everybody is on the same team with the same ultimate goal, it's never going to work. So we created Dental Mutuality for that. And one of the things we focus on is if you have an efficient team, you have a happy team, you are going to be more profitable, your patients are going to be happier, and they're going to stay with you. They're not going to be looking around. But when you have an unhappy team, your patient feels that. Emotion is something that's transferred from one person to another. And if you have an unhappy team, I promise you your patients feel it, and they're looking, without you knowing it, they're looking for a new dental office to go to.
Yeah, you may not be aware of this, Ian, but the reason that the Dental Efficiency Guy was created was because of the joy ROI that you experience when not only is your mindset right about your why, your passion, your energy, your focus, your team is all on working convergently or on the same page, you're hitting on all cylinders, there is the max return to joy. Right? You enjoy what you're doing. Your patients enjoy being there. Your team is building the culture because they enjoy working there. That is all joy ROI. That exists in practices that are intentional about it. But that is ultimately what we strive to do at the Dental Efficiency Guy. Again, not necessarily a plug, but you're talking about being happy or being miserable. Obviously the antithesis, the opposite of not liking what you do or being unhappy with where you are and what you do is making the decision to choose the opportunity, choose the joy, choose to focus on the wins, to choose to be grateful for where you are and what you have instead of looking at the glass being half empty every day. And
definitely. No, I love that.
But it goes a lot deeper operationally, but that was the basis for why years ago the opportunity that I saw when I started consulting is just to help these guys return to their why, their true why, their dream. Why did you, when you dreamt about being a dentist, what was your motivation? What did you see? What did you feel? Where did you see yourself 10 years down the road? And if you can get back to that and feel that every day, that is the juice that changes your approach with your patients and your team and everyone else that you come in contact with.
Yeah, it's so interesting you're saying that because, we work with, right now we've got, work with 8 different companies, plus I have 3 of my own. And
oh yeah, what are those? Do you have, it's probably prime time for you to announce those 2 that I know of that you've recently brought to market that are game changers for.
Yes, that's Dropship Dental and Dentrial. So I'll talk about those in a second.
Dropship Dental and Dentrial. As in Dent Reel.
Dentrial.
Right? Okay.
Just like a reel on a TikTok.
Yeah.
This is for dentistry. So yeah, I'll delve into that. So the one that, as far as efficiency goes, what is one of the pain points that just about every dental office or DSO has is consumable products for your patients. Patient,
sure,
right? So what we did is we created what we like to consider the Amazon for dentistry and for dental consumer products. And what we do is we've got vendors who've put their products onto Dropship Dental just like Amazon, right? But we don't market it like Amazon. What we do is we go to dental offices, and for free, we don't charge them anything for it to put it on the site, is we create a web page for those dental offices with a store. Now, we let them pick and choose which products they want. So if they prefer one whitening product over another or one floss over another, they get to pick and choose, because let's face it, why should you not have products you like? Why should you have products that we shove down your throat? No, we want you to pick what you like. So now you've got a page on your website, no inventory. You don't got to carry any inventory anymore. You don't have to worry about shrinkage or reordering or running out. You don't worry about taxes, because we take care of all the taxes. All you do is we supply you with QR codes for your patients on a business card. You can go out there, give it to them. You could write on the back of the card which products you recommend. They just go online at their leisure. They purchase it. You get a rev share, which is probably as much, in some cases more than you would if you resold it in your practice, right? But without all the hassles. So now you get...
right, not having to store, stock, unpackage,
Exactly.
put on shelves, repack, your packing, your tape, your postage, everything, right?
Yeah,
So
it's easy.
your
And
labor.
your patients win, because they get a price similar to what it would be in your office or on Amazon. You win. You don't have the inventory. You still get the revenue share. The vendor wins, because they get more exposure. Let's face it, you're not taking all of those products from every vendor. Even if you have a favorite vendor, you may only have one product of theirs. And so everybody wins. And we don't charge for it. There's no monthly fees. There's no onboarding fees. We, like Amazon, take a small percentage.
Wow, no fees for the service, just a percentage of what sells. So you get paid when the office gets paid.
Exactly. And that's efficiency, right?
Yep.
You don't need to deal with all of the things that you never went to school for, right? You went to school to learn dentistry. And you get to do that instead of being an inventory expert.
Yeah, how many times do you buy a bunch of consumable inventory and then it either expires or sits on the shelves
Exactly.
because nobody's talking about it? So this is a solution for promote it, sell it, and not have anything expiring, but drop shipping it to your office just as more efficiently than having it in-house. So yeah, I love that. And then Dentreel.
Yeah, that is really cool. So this is cutting edge technology for videos. So what we do is, again, we create a page that we put on the office site, or the vendor site for that matter. And TikTok, everybody. So UGC is user generated content.
Okay.
And it is huge in the world today. Everybody wants to promote themselves for 10 seconds on TikTok, create a reel of a beautiful product or their dog or whatever, and they just want to be seen, right? And so Dentreel was created with that concept. So what we do is we get the dentist and the team to make great videos for their procedures, because if you see it in a video, it is way more effective, and I've got all kinds of stats to back that up, but way more effective than just writing it or pictures. Then we get patients to give testimonials in a very easy, simplistic way with QR codes, consent forms, all that stuff. So you have a patient who gives you a video, and right on their phone, right when they're leaving the office, or followed up by an email 24 hours later, making sure they're okay, they send you a video. And when it comes in, we've already created the carousels on your page so that it's easy to just drag and dump them into the carousel. But here's where our AI kicks in, and this is so unique. So what our AI will do is it analyzes every single word, sentence, and emotion, so that you know which videos are good to put on your website and which ones aren't. It will then transcribe it all, highlighting all the key important words. So when you have all these videos on your site, you go to the search bar that we've included with this, you type in the word aligner, and it'll just pull out the videos that have the word aligner in it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? So now it goes a step further. Within the next 30, 60, 90 days, every single one of these videos will be using those words, sentences, and emotions for not only SEO, but for GEO and AEO purpose. So not only will you be able to be found on search engines, but in all of your AI searches and questions, it'll be found as well.
What is GEO?
So basically the GEO and AEO are in lay terms, it's how ChatGPT and Claude and everything else will interact with you, because that's much more question oriented, right? So and there's a dental analogy which I can get into, but it's really cool the way that it's like SEO is kind of like standing outside of a dental office and handing out flyers, where AEO is much more like asking your hygienist which product you should be using, right? And it's more and more involved as you're going along the channel of different type of searches.
I think I saw something like 80 some odd percent. I mean, I know that's the way that patients are scheduling appointments. That is the way that people are finding dentists, finding services today. But it's a climbing. It's the rate, between Siri and Alexa and all the other, options. ChatGPT, like people asking for service options and/or products for that
Yes.
matter. And so
It's the new way.
Really, really, really important. And I know that videos and reels are key to you being found.
Absolutely.
But
And so you get the patient finding you. They come to your site. They look for the video. Then this is the coolest thing. Right in our video, you have a call to action button. Right.
Okay.
So imagine you're talking about the aligners, or your patient is talking about your aligners and
Scheduling.
how great their teeth look afterwards, and they want to make an appointment.
Yep.
They can do that right then and there. They don't need to go out of the video to go to your appointment scheduler. Your appointment scheduler is right in the video. They just click on the button, make an appointment, they're there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? Or they want more information on aligners. So a different video will have a different call to action for information, click here.
Sure, capture form. Yeah, I love that. I love that, Ian. That is awesome. So DentReel, and how would, well, okay, before we do this, that's amazing information. I love both, and I will want to make sure that we get the data so that people can look into either option, as well as we talked about Pronto or in dental mutuality. So any of those, maybe four different links that will be in the show notes. But at the same time, in any of my episodes, it's so many gems, so much great information that I think people can take to practice and either implement something, make an adjustment. I know we like to say on the show, in this journey of constant improvement, 1% better each day, right? And if you're 1% better over the course of 90 days, that's 90%, 93, 95%. That means that literally over a 4-month period of time, you could be 400% better than you are 30, 60, 90. I'm sorry, within a year, you would be 400% better than you are today. And that is crazy to think about when you are just making minor tweaks or improvements. With the services and the products, the things that we talked about today, I think they can be some massive improvements. However, one question that I have for you, if there's one thing that you want to share with our listeners, to leave them with today, imparting either some wisdom, a tip, a trick, or a cheat code, Ian, what would that one thing be?
There are amazing, well, can I do two?
Sure, go ahead, knock yourself out.
Number one is, and you may have heard this before, that the mind is like a parachute. It only works if it's open. And I find that you need to open your mind to all the new products and services, all the AI and technology that is in dentistry today, but do yourself a favor and get outside help. You're bombarded with 300 vendors selling you front desk AI, and you need to find somebody who can sift through the noise and help you get through that, because otherwise you're just going to be bamboozled. And you want to focus on dentistry, not deciding on which technology, which clinical products, which burrs are the best. Get outside help. Let somebody who has no stake in the matter advise you. That's number one.
That's a
Number
solid, juicy one for sure.
Number two, give back. Give to the community.
Oh yeah.
If you want to grow your practice and you want to feel good about it and you want your staff to feel good about it, give more than you get.
Absolutely.
It's just, you when you give, you will find that and don't give just because you want to get, but when you give, you will find that it comes back over and over and over again. And if you want to grow your practice, reach out to the community, give to the community, and the community will give to you.
And that one is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, include your whole team to create.
Which is a shameless plug, which I cannot divulge right now, but it's probably one of the newest things that we're doing at Dental Mutuality is helping community outreach, and it'll blow your mind, Gabe. Just blow your mind when I tell you about it.
I love that. Oh wow, another service, product, or something. Ian is always creating something. If you know anything about this man, he's always got something being built. So anyway, for our listeners, hopefully you were able to find at least one tip, trick, insight, or a cheat code that will absolutely help you level up the dental game. Ian, for anyone to get in contact with you or learn about any of these things, what is the easiest way for them to get in touch with you?
Okay, so Ian at dentalmutuality.com, just like it sounds, the ENTALMUTUALITY.com. This sounds like a K-Tel commercial, but my phone number is 877-677-5277. Once again, 877-677-5277. Operators are standing by.
Thank you so much, and hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Gabe, this has been a true pleasure.
Well, yeah, absolutely a pleasure talking to you. Remember, on this journey, 1% better each day, and keep on keeping on. Cheers. Hey, friends. Before you head out, I just want to say thank you. Seriously, there are a lot of places you can spend your time. And the fact that you're here with us, investing and getting better, building smarter systems, and elevating your practice, that matters to us. If today's episode brought you value, please do us a quick favor and like and subscribe, and share it with someone on your team who's ready to level up alongside you. That's how we keep raising the bar, that standard across dentistry, together. And if you're ready to take what you learned and actually implement it in your practice, head down to the show notes and connect with us through the link below. We'd love to help you streamline, grow, and create a practice that runs with greater efficiency and a whole lot more ease. Until then, keep focused on 1% better each day and enjoy the ride. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Dental Efficiency Playbook.